back to my channel. I'm so excited to have you guys here as always. And for those of you that don't know, I'm Taji and I'm your go-to girl for all things self-growth and self-improvement. So if that's the journey that you find yourself on like me, then I'm gonna need you to lock in right here because I got something real for you guys today. In this video, I'm going to be getting a little bit vulnerable with you guys, and that's because building self-confidence was really an uphill battle for me. Not too many people know this about me, but for a long time, I would question everything good about myself, and that reflected in the choices that I made and how I treated myself. I didn't feel like I was as pretty as other women, and I always felt the need to overcompensate in other areas to make up for what I thought I was lacking, which I know now was 100% not true. I was constantly comparing myself to other women that I felt were prettier, more confident, or had something that I felt I didn't. I'd secretly wish that I could trade places with them or somehow have what they had. And in doing that, I neglected everything that God created in me that made me unique and worthy in my very own way. Self-confidence isn't something that just appears. It's something that you build day by day with small choices and real love for yourself. And today, I would like to share what that journey looked like for me. One of the biggest killers of self-confidence is comparison. And that was one of my biggest issues. It made me feel like no matter what I was doing, it just wasn't good enough. Social media was a big trigger for my comparison. And one thing that I had to learn was that social media is a highlight reel. People show the best lighting, the best angles, the wins, but you don't always see the struggle. And I had to stop comparing my behind the scenes to someone else's finished product. Another thing that I started doing was choosing to celebrate women instead of competing with them. I had to come to the realization that someone else's beauty or success doesn't take away from me or anything that I am. Just because you notice someone's light, it doesn't cause yours to dim in any way. And honestly, complimenting other women made me feel even better about myself. I used to stand in front of the mirror and literally pick myself apart about my skin, my hair. I didn't like my teeth. I wanted a bigger butt. I was like my own worst enemy, and I would constantly do this every day until I had broken my self-confidence down to literally nothing. And I came to a point where I was honestly just tired of my own stuff. I had to come to the realization that no matter how much I continued to tear myself down, I was still me. I wasn't gonna magically wake up and be somebody else. And that's when I really started to focus on the things that made me me. Because let's be honest here, y'all. There's always going to be somebody that you feel is prettier than you or that's doing something better than you. And that's just life. But instead of asking, why don't I look like her? I started asking myself, what's special about me? Like, what great qualities about myself have I been ignoring? And when I started asking myself stuff like that, I really stopped looking around at everyone else and started to zero in on myself and really fix things internally and externally that I needed in order to build my self-confidence. I started therapy, journaling, doing shadow work. Externally, I started finding specific products that work well with my skin, whitening my teeth, dressing nicely every day, working out. And most importantly, I worked on building a close and firm relationship with God. I was very intentional about my relationship with God because I feel like He was the foundation. He created me. So I needed to go to the source to figure out how I can view myself in the way that He does, in the way that He created me. And once I started doing those things, I saw a major difference. My self-confidence grew tremendously the more I started focusing on pouring into me. Something else that helped me build my self-confidence, and this was a really big one for me, but I had to learn to trust myself by doing exactly what I told myself I was going to do. Listen, I cannot tell you guys how many times I told myself I was going to do something and I absolutely did not follow through. For example, I would tell myself that I'm going to work out for the body that I want. And on day one, I would be wearing my cute little workout outfit, headstrong, focused. And then by day 5, I would be looking at myself in the mirror with nothing but excuses. I would tell myself like, girl, I didn't say we was going to be doing this every day. I said sometimes. And then I would tell myself something like, we're good. We're going to just start back up next week. And it was a continuous cycle. And eventually, I just stopped trusting myself to do anything that I said I was going to do. And honestly, how can you have confidence in yourself if you don't even trust yourself? Confidence and self trust go hand in hand. To build self confidence, you have to keep small promises to yourself, take ownership of your actions, and give yourself permission to learn from your mistakes without shame. It's not about being perfect, but it's about having your own back. Another one of the biggest confidence killers isn't other people, it's that voice in your own head. You know, the one that says, you're not good enough, so why even bother? That's negative self talk, and it's time to shut it down. Negative self talk is when your inner voice becomes your biggest bully. It's the constant criticism, the guilt, the doubt, the shame. And over time, it trains your brain to believe that you're not capable, even when you are. Some examples are, I always mess things up, or I don't look good enough, or nobody's going to support me, or I'm way too behind to start now. When you say these things to yourself, it can become your identity. And the more you believe it, the less likely you are to show up, take up space, or speak up for yourself. It begins to create a loop of doubt, inaction, regret, more negative self talk. It's like a never ending cycle. And I know this because I've been there. And I also know how you can start shifting that energy. The first thing you want to do is to notice the voice. Pay attention to how you're talking to yourself. Is it kind? Would you talk to a child this way or your best friend this way? And then challenge it with the truth. When you hear yourself say something like, I'm not good enough, stop and ask yourself, wait, is this really true? What would someone who really actually knows me and loves me say? Because our brains can be our own worst enemy. So it's up to you to really stop those thoughts and ask yourself, like, okay, is this just negative self talk or is this really how I feel about myself? Because, like I said, your brain will tell you anything, especially when you're overwhelmed, anxious, frustrated, going through something. Sometimes our thoughts can create an alternate reality that we're not even really in or that we don't even really feel about ourselves. And then replace those thoughts with I'm learning, I'm improvement, or even I'm just trying, and that's good enough for the day. Because let's be honest, y'all, sometimes all we can do is try. Sometimes days get the best of us. Not every day is going to be a good day. We're not going to just feel so in love with ourselves every day. That's just human nature. It's a part of being a woman. We have our cycle, we have our luteal phase, we have a lot going on and a lot of forces working against us. But as long as you can recognize that you're trying, then that is good enough. All you can give is your best. And that brings me to my third point, which is to speak life over yourself. Your words shape your world. Speak to yourself with patience, with grace, with kindness, with belief. Every day you are planting seeds with your words. And the question is, are you planting seeds of self belief or self doubt? Speaking life over yourself means using words that affirm your beauty, your self worth, and your power, even on days when you don't feel it. You deserve to hear kind things. You deserve to be spoken to with love. And it all starts with you. Speak life over yourself as if your soul depends on it, because honestly, it does. And last but not least, I want to talk about pouring into yourself like someone you deeply love. And I want to start by asking this. If you were dating yourself, would you feel loved, cared for, and emotionally safe with you? And be honest when you answer that question. Would you feel loved, cared for, and emotionally safe with you if you were dating yourself? Would you feel supported by your own thoughts, actions, or energy? Or would you feel ignored, drained, and judged? Honestly answer that. Pouring into yourself means showing up for your own physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual needs with the same softness and effort that you give to people that you love. It's about checking in with your emotions and not just brushing them off, and nourishing your body with food, water, rest, care, and all the things that you need personally to flourish. It's about speaking kindly to yourself and creating moments of joy for yourself, especially when you feel down, and not waiting on somebody else to do them. It's called self-confidence. You can't get it from anybody else. It's the confidence that you gain from yourself, within yourself, for yourself, by yourself. It's all about self. It has nothing to do with outer people, anybody else but you. Nobody can take it away from you. Nobody can give it to you. It may seem that way, but no. It's also about protecting your peace and not powering through chaos. And we kind of touched on that in the entering your soft girl era video. It all goes hand in hand. It ties in. It ties into the same thing. Building self-confidence, entering your soft girl era. You need to have self-confidence to be in your soft girl era. And some of the ways that you can pour into yourself may look like not rushing through your skincare in the morning, taking your time, doing it slow, admiring yourself, or playing a playlist that reminds you of who you are. Listen, I love me a playlist. I love me a playlist that makes me feel like that girl because I am that girl. So when I find a song that makes me feel like, ooh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna play that because it makes me feel good. Music is healing to the soul. So definitely I recommend building your playlist up with music that makes you feel good. Like, yes, that's me. I'm her. I'm that girl. Build it up. Another way that you can accomplish this is to dress in a way that makes you feel pretty, even if nobody sees you. And one thing about me, I love to wear a gown around the house. I love to wear the little form-fitting long gowns around the house. I love to cook in them. I love to just walk around, walk past the mirror, do my little daily activities. It makes me feel so pretty just watching myself look so elegant around the house. And who sees me? Nobody. I do. Yes, I'll take pictures. It just makes me feel good. It makes me feel confident. It makes me feel just like that girl, just so pretty. And I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm doing it simply for me because I like the way that I look and I like the way that it makes me feel. So yes, dress in a way that makes you feel good, not what you think others want to see you in or not what you see other people wearing that you think looks good on them. Find something that you feel good in, that makes you feel like that girl. Can't nobody tell you nothing because they can't. Put that thing on and rock it. Also, saying no without guilt because it is a full sentence. That's always going to be tea. That's always going to be the move. If it's a no, it's a no. Don't ever feel guilty about that. Going to sleep earlier because your rest matters and it plays a major role in how you're feeling about yourself and how you're showing up in the world. Crying when you need to and really holding space for yourself in that way is a great way to build self-confidence. It's lighting a candle just because, putting lotion on slowly, letting the sun hit your face before the day pulls at you. It's just slowing down and really giving yourself the love, the attention that you deserve. When you treat yourself like someone you love, you start to believe that you are worthy of good things because you see yourself giving good things to you. And this is when confidence starts to bloom. When you feel cared for by yourself, you show up for the world less desperate for permission, validation, or saving. If you've made it this far, I hope you feel even just a little more connected to yourself, more aware of your power, and more gentle with your growth. Confidence isn't something that just arrives all at once. It's built day by day with every choice to trust yourself, every shift in your self-talk, and every time you show up for yourself, even when it's hard. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy. And you don't have to wait to feel confident to start living like you deserve more. You are already becoming her. Just keep showing up for you. If this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, comment, or share this video with someone who might need a little reminder today. And if you're on this journey too, then go ahead and subscribe and let's grow together. Thanks for watching, and remember, you are allowed to take up space right now as you are. Bye.